Hi, my name is Samuel Lim, aka That Uncle Sam. You can follow me on That Uncle Sam. I'm also owner of CrossFit Fire City. Now, I've been a trainer for almost about 20 years coming, and today I'm going to bring to you a series of workouts that is suitable for you to perform at home, and a little bit of a challenge for you as well. Okay, so if you're ready to start with me, let's get going. Now, all you need to do, all you need to have is a little bit of an open space. Not too much, but just unwidth so that you don't crash into anything. We won't be jumping or running, not today. Maybe next time or very soon. But in the meantime, just make sure you have clear space and you don't have any obstructions around you. Now, at any point in time, you can also bring yourself like a bottle, a bag, a luggage, bands, resistant bands, just to bring up the challenge of the workout. If you're ready, let's get started. Today's warm-up, we're going to start off with a minute each. Each minute, we're going to perform some movement just to get the body ready moving. Okay, so first thing first, we're going to warm up the hips. You're going to swing your leg forward and back. We're going to do that for a minute. Take your time. Swing it forward and back. You want to focus on bringing your knee up as high as you can and then heels as far back as you can. It doesn't have to be very fast, but just go nice and easy. Hopefully you don't feel any clicks or any pinch. If you need to hold on to something, you can do that as well. Or you can bring your knee up to a nice tuck before you swing it back. Knee up to a nice tuck and then bring it back. You can always swing it to the side as well. Side swinging. And if you're up for a little bit more of a challenge, forward swing, back swing, and then down to a high knee. At all times, keep yourself hydrated. You can bring yourself a bottle of water, or put a towel on the side as well. Okay, and then we switch side, forward swing and back swing. You can try side swings too. Same thing, if you're up for it, bring your knee up to a nice tuck, swing it back. So you're trying to extend the range of motion. Again, same thing, if you need to find a balance, hold on to a wall or hold on to a chair as well. That works just the same. I don't want panting already. Knee tuck, backward lunge. Is the AC on? Okay, now second movement, we're going to go into arm swing. Okay, so swing your arms front and back. Cross it over, so right hand over, left hand over, right hand over, left hand over. If you can, swing it back as far as you can, open up your fingers, feel the stretch across your fingertips, and then bring it forward again. Does this happen to everyone? Okay, we can go upward swing and downward swing as well. If you're feeling good, full arm rotation, forward and backwards. If you find that there are restrictions across your shoulder, what you can do is go a little bit slower or a smaller circle. Okay, 1 minute's up. We're going to practice some forward bending. So what I'd like you to do is lean forward, bring your hands down to the ground. You're going to try to walk up as far as you can. There are a few options over here. You can bend your knees, hold your hands out. If you find it challenging, walk it back. Okay, there's no pressure over here. Just take your time and take it really, really, really easy. Okay, you can straighten your legs out, get yourself up into a full forward fold. Walk your hands out, and then walk it back. How far you want to go, it really depends. My preference, if you can walk all the way to get your shoulder over your wrist, give your wrist a nice stretch, that would be perfect. There's another option for you to add in a little bit of a push-up as well. So you're going to walk your hands out, go down to push-up, stretch your body out, and then walk back. Now, after working on the forward bending, we're going to work on the back bend as well. But this one is relatively easy. Hands down, walk your hands out, or walk your legs out, drop your hips down. Step forward, come back to a stand. If you can try 2 legs at the same time. And up. If you find that there are restrictions, what you can do is again, step out nice and slow, gently lower your knees out, hips down, pockets down onto the ground. Give yourself a good stretch. Buttocks back up, step back up, and then come back up to a stand. Okay, last one to stretch are your squats. We always like squats because it gets the knees and the hips all working and fire up at the same time. So going down to a deep squat and then come back up to a stand. Now the depth of the squat is really dependent on how flexible or how mobile you are. If you find that your knees has issues or your hips has issues, then limit the amount of squat depth that you have. And then just go into pauses, and that's really good enough. Ideally, we're going to go as low as we can. You can give yourself a nice little stretch around here as well. Wriggle, tilt to the side, and then come back up to a stand. I hope what you guys are doing is bring this video out to the park where there's fresh air, because I don't quite remember the last time when I'm talking like this and perspiring during warm-up. Okay, now we're 6 minutes done. I'm ready. I don't know if you are. Okay, now I've got 2 parts of a workout for us. First part, it's about a 9 minutes workout. There are 3 sets altogether. Each set consists of 3 movements. Each movement consists of a minute of as many repetitions as you can do. But as just for today's workout, we're just going to target about 10 to 12 reps. So you can perform 10 to 12 reps per movement for 3 movements, 3 sets. That will be a good goal for today. Alright, now the first movement that we have is a plank walk up. So you're going to go into a plank, shoulders over your wrist, position your hands anywhere that you're most comfortable with. You can clench your fist, you can have your palms open, face down. And then from there, place your palm where your elbows is, and then walk up. So that's the first movement. Second movement is a side plank, followed by a chest fly. So you're going to again rest your shoulder over your wrist, reach your hands up nice and high, and then lower your hands through, and then up. So that's the second movement. And the third movement is a lunge. You can either lunge back, or you can take a step lunge forward. Okay? If you're ready, let's begin. Yeah. Okay, so let's get ready. We have 60 seconds to go. Again, the target is 10 to 12 reps. Shoulders over your elbows, get ready to walk up, and then come back down. Take it nice and slow. The option is you can rest your knee down onto the ground and perform the same movement. If you have shoulders or elbows or wrist injuries, you can even drop your hips down and practice pressing up, elbows down, and rest. Palms back to where your elbows is, press up, elbows back down, and rest. If not, rest back onto your knees. Or challenge yourself to bring your knees off the ground. Now, try to at all times protect your neck by engaging your shoulders and push your chest away from the ground as much as you can. 60 seconds up. The next movement that we're going to go into a side plank chest fly. So, elbows on the ground, shoulders over elbow. You're going to raise your hips up, extend your arm overhead, bring it in through your underarm, and then raise it back up again. Now, if a challenge for this, what you can do is bend your knees, raise your hip up, perform the same movement. And you notice I'm looking at where my palm goes. That will give me a little bit more stability. You can also be looking in front all the time. Okay? Now again, another option is you can have one knee bent and then the other leg forward. Raise it up. So that will give you an in-between. Not quite resting on the knee, not quite resting on the feet. From there, extend up and down. Okay, we have 1 minute on this side already. We're going to go into lunges first. The next set, we'll go on the other side. So lunges, it's a very common movement, but it's also a commonly mispracticed movement. There's no wrong movement, but what we can focus on is upon stepping down, try to align your shoulder over your hips and your hips over your knee, using your heels to drive yourself back up into position. So forward stepping, knee down, use your heels, push yourself back up. Very amused with myself right now. Don't do that. Okay? Now I mentioned earlier, you can do a step back as well. Step back is usually a lot easier for most people. Sorry. Step back is usually a lot easier for most people simply because the alignment and balancing is a lot simpler and stable. Okay, now first round is done. We're going to go into round 2. Go back to your first movement. Plank and walk up. So from here, hands up, straighten your arms. Stabilize your shoulders one more time. Lower your elbows down. Rest yourself back down. Take your time, use your palm, press against the ground. Push your arms into a full extension. Stabilize yourself with the other hand. Going back down again. Rest your elbows down. The other elbows goes down. Try to keep your body as stable as you can. Avoid rocking or tilting. Okay, 1 minute's up. We're going to move on to side plank. So we've done the right side on my right side earlier. We're going to work on the left side. So, shoulders over your elbow. Raise your hip up. Extend the arm up. Lower your arm down. Pass through. Stretch. And coming back up again. The focus of this movement is actually on your shoulder. Okay, especially the shoulder that's basing the movement. So from here, you want to open up. Get a stretch across the shoulder. And then rotate, face down, get arms to go across your chest. Again, don't forget, you can bend your knee, pop your hips up, extend your arms up and down as well. Okay, now going back to lunges this time around. We're going to try forward and backward lunges this time. So forward lunge, using the heels, push back. Backward lunge, lower your shoulder, lower your knees down towards the ground. Push using your toes and then bring yourself back to a neutral position. So again, over here, right leg forward, knee down, use your heels, push yourself back into position. Right leg back, lower your body down, again shoulders over your knee. Raise your body up, use your toe, push yourself back into position. So in this case, forward step, push up, and push back. Going down, down, push up, and then step back. So don't be in a hurry to push yourself back in position like this. Going down, raise your body up first, and then step back. Alternating your footsteps. Okay. Now, we've done 2 rounds. We're going to go into round 3. Okay, if you're up for it, we're going to speed up the repetitions a little bit. And since I'm already panting, let's try something. 1 breath, 1 rep. 1 breath, 1 rep. So if you're breathing really heavily, what I'd like you to do is start controlling. If you're not breathing heavily yet, try to speed up your movement and get yourself to breathe a little bit faster. That will allow you to warm up your airway, your lungs, get your heart pumping up at the same time. So you don't always have to move fast to get your heart rate up. Sometimes you can just simply increase your breathing pattern, and that will pump up your adrenaline as well as your circulations. Okay, 60 seconds over. We're going to work on side planks again. This time 30 seconds on each side. So left side first, swing up. Like I mentioned earlier, breathe. Breathing up, 1, and then breathing down. So 1 breath, 1 rep. Try to push your hips as high as you can. Extend your arms up. Get a nice stretch across. Same thing for the other side. Switch side. Hand up, going down. Again, if you need to scale it down, you can always drop your knees. If not, focus on your breathing. 1 breath, 1 rep. Exhale, inhale up. Get a stretch across your shoulder. In this case, my right shoulder. Okay, and done. Now we're going to go into lunges. Again, we're going to try forward, backward lunges. Again, try to 1 breath, 1 rep. So in this case, 1 breath here, 1 breath here. If you're moving relatively consistent, you should be able to find about 12 to 15 reps per side. If you're moving through nice and slow, you'll be able to find about 10 reps at a time. Okay, so 3 rounds completed. I'm more than halfway done. But we've still got things to do. Now, the sequence that we just performed includes a little bit of upper body, a little bit of core work, a little bit about footwork as well. So the same thing happens for the next set, but this time around it can be a little bit more dynamic and that more challenging as well. We're going to go back to simple basic push-ups. Regular push-ups like this, with your chest going down and then pushing up. Simple push-up movement. But simple is never easy if you challenge yourself hard enough. Okay, and then we have sit-ups, just regular sit-ups, going down and coming up. Now I prefer to swing arms because that eliminates the chance of putting a strain on the neck and the shoulders. So lie back down, arms across, arms behind, swing your arms forward, throw your arms forward, and bring yourself up to a sit. Okay? Now, if you're used to putting your hands by your ears, you can do that as well. Now, next one that we're going to do, I like it very much because it's pretty much more of a stretch than a workout for me. So you're going to take a big step to the side, feel the stretch across the inner thighs, push yourself back up to a stand, do the same thing on the other side as well. If you can balance yourself with your heels on the ground, your toe pointing up, that will be perfect. Or else, you can always put your hand onto the ground, give yourself a little bit of more of a balance, and then bring yourself back up to a stand. Okay? So, along the time, I'm going to create some variations. We're going to get started in a while. So you can always scale up, or you can scale down. I probably will be scaling down in a minute or time. So, first movement, we're going to go into push-ups. Okay, walk your toes in, shoulders over your wrist. Get a good stretch across your wrist. Stack your elbows over your wrist when you're performing your push-ups. Bring your chest down to the ground as well. Now bringing the chest down to the ground is really important because that kind of like gives the shoulder, the elbows a full range of movement for working and functionality. Now at the bottommost of the push-up, you can also try to maintain tension. It doesn't mean that you're resting entirely down on the ground. You can always be holding and then push yourself back up. If you find trouble performing your push-ups on your toes, you can always rest your knee on the ground and perform the same thing. Now, one more regression. If you find that push-ups like this on the knees is still difficult, you can always drop your pockets or your hips down onto the ground, push your body up, give yourself a stretch, and then lower your body back down. Okay, I don't constitute this cheating. This is actually cultivating range of motion for your elbows and your chest at the same time. Or else we'll forever be doing half-range push-ups or unstable push-ups because the body has never been taught to stabilize and work in a full range. Okay, next one should be an easy one. We're going to go into the sit-ups. As I mentioned. Exactly the range of motion that you're working on. You can make things up a little bit more fancy by giving a little bit of a twist. Or simple push-up. Now, trick over here is try to have your heels touching the ground all the time. Okay, ankle your heels down onto the ground. Alright? Now, third movement, we're going to go back to side. So, going down to the stretch. Feel the stretch across your inner thighs. Have your heels down, stabilize yourself, push your body up, and then going down. Left and right is one rep. So you stretch, stand, practice balancing, going back down. Stand, practice balancing, and then go back down. I should have done this a lot earlier. This is less cardio. Okay, we have 5 more seconds, just perform one more rep. Okay, we're going to round 2. I'm going to increase, we're going to up the game a little bit. This is my all-time favorite. I've always been advocating this or introducing this to a lot of push-up sequence. Now you're going to place your palms down onto the ground with the fingers pointing back. A lot of people have been asking me what is externally rotated push-ups. So you basically turn your hands out, go in an external rotation. Okay, and then from there, extend your legs up, and then give your wrist some love, some nice little stretches. And then from there, make sure you walk your toes in, shoulders over your wrist. You're going to lean your body forward into a planche, into a push-up. Now, one of the reasons why I like this so much is because it locks your elbows into position. So there's no more outward winging elbows. You're forced to push your elbows to tuck beside your body to perform the push-up sequence. We'll have a go of this at this on the third round. A little bit more to go. Okay? Now, we're going to go into sit-ups right now. Okay? And if you're still with me earlier, swing your arms forward, bring your fingers to touch your toes, ankle your heels on the ground. You can raise your leg up this time. So same thing, bring your fingers to touch your toes. Now remember, movement doesn't have to be complicated. Even if it's simple, by focusing it well, you'll still get the kind of results that you're looking for. Couple more seconds, get ready for side to side. Okay, so step back up. Last movement for the second round, we've got one more round to go. Again, side stretch. Remember, if you find that it's really difficult for you to get all the way down, just put your hands down onto the ground, stand back. Cultivate the forward bending, cultivate the bending of your knees as well. Okay, I often hear that we're limited by tight ankles or tight cuffs. So what you can do is take the opportunity to raise your heels off, get a stretch across your ankle as well as your cuffs, and then roll down to the other side. Perform the same thing. If you find that there's tension underneath the sole of your feet, hold it there for a little longer. Try to get the stretch to go down. Hold it there for a while. As long as the pain is not excruciating, your body is actually loving it and loving you at the same time. So don't be too quick to jump out of the sequence. Okay, so 2 rounds done. We've got 1 more round to go. So again, let's go to push-ups. And like what I mentioned to you earlier, let's go by 1 breath, 1 rep. So breathing in and out as you push out. There won't be too much to go, or too many. In a minute, as long as you're moving well, following through your breathing, if each breathing is about 3 seconds or 4 seconds, you will have about 15 reps, plus minus, to finish the sequence. Again, don't forget, there's always an option to rest your knee on the ground, or even rest your hip down on the ground to perform the push-ups. Okay? Okay. Next movement, going back to the sit-ups. A little bit of a challenge as well. Extend your legs out, arms out at the same time. As you curl up to a sit, we're going to try to slide the heels across the ground first. So drag the heels across. Now if you're home, which you should be actually, you should be home right now, and if you're not wearing shoes, you can actually place your heels on the towel and slide the towel across the floor, then there will be less frictions. Now, to challenge yourself a little bit more, you can also be lifting your legs off the ground, going to a small little V up. Remember, 1 breath, 1 rep. Okay, and last one. Alright, last movement. Side squats. We're going to move a little bit faster, and if you can follow the sequence, I'm going to add in a little bit of things for you. So you're going to go down to a squat, and then up, switch to the other side, and up, switch over to the other side. Go down as deep as you can. Again, I'm trying to go by 1 breath, 1 rep, so I'm speeding up just a little bit more. But if you find that it's quite difficult to catch up, just slow it down. It is okay. Okay, and then adding on to the sequence, you can rotate, and then come back up. Going down, rotate, and then come back up. Going down, rotate, and then come back up. Going down, rotate, and then come back up. Okay, good job to myself. I survived. Okay, this is water. If you have towel yourself down. We're almost done. We're gonna go into stretches. Now, the first stretch that we're going to work on are hip stretch. We've got squats, we've got lunges, we've got side-to-side squats, we've got down and up during the warm-up. So, all this requires a lot of hip flexions. So, one of the first things that you can do for yourself and give your hips a little bit of love is to drop yourself into a nice, long, far lunging position. Now, try to put your body weight on the front leg, not the back leg. Now, if you're home and you don't have a nice soft mat or a towel, we often hear that, oh, the knee hurts in this position. All you need to do is lean your weight forward. You can even place your hands down. Now, from there, if you can go further, drop your elbows down. And you find that once the weight is centered or centered towards your upper body or your forward body, then the pressure on the knee, on the back knee, will be far lesser. Okay? Now, then go onto the other side. Now, the stretch that we're looking for is right in here, as well as the hip side, okay, where your pocket says. Going down deep, feel the stretch across both sides. If it is too tight for you, one hand on the ground, the other hand on your knee. And then from there, you can even do a little bit of a rotation around your knee. Just get a deeper stretch on your hips or inside your hip socket. Now, if you'd like to challenge yourself a little bit more, you can raise your knee off the ground. Same thing, put your body weight forward, rotate. Hit and down. Now, what I love about stretching is that it works for some, it doesn't work for all. So if you find that the stretch doesn't work at all on you, you don't feel the stretch at all, maybe because you're super flexible, or you're not flexible at all and you're not getting into the stretch altogether, then forget about the stretch. Come back again next time. Try other stretches. There are plenty of other stretches that you can actually try as well. Now, next stretch is also one of my favorite. It's a forward bending hamstring stretch, but instead of leaning forward or forward bending immediately, what I usually like to do is to bend our knees first. Okay, so make sure you're seated stable on the ground, your heels is on the ground. Now this time around, grab hold of your feet or the base of your shoe. If you find that this is still relatively difficult, all you need to do is hold on to your ankles. Now from here, anchor your heels onto the ground. Even if you're not wearing shoes, you can still place your heels onto the ground, and you're going to use your buttocks to walk yourself back as far as you can until you can feel the tension across the back of your legs. Now, some might just end up over here, or some right here, not too far away. It's definitely okay. What I like about this is that you know how far you can go, and then there's a benchmark for it. Okay, so have your toes pointing up, walk your buttocks back, and then gradually feel the stretch across the back of your legs, and then lean forward if you're very comfortable with it. If not, it's okay, just stay where you are. Hold the stretch for an easy 1 to 2 minutes, okay, or at least until the stretch starts to get dull, and only then switch over to another stretch. Okay? Now, the last one is also one of my favorite because I get to stay on the floor and not move very much. It's a shoulder stretch. Allows us to feel the stretch across our chest, our pectoral major, our big chest muscles as well. Hands on the ground, fingers pointing back, arms straightened, elbows locked out if you can. Slide your buttocks forward, straighten your legs out. Okay? Now, if you're very comfortable, the first thing that you can do is try to pop your chest forward as high as you can. Realign your spinal position, okay, and then slide your buttocks forward. Hold the stretch there for a nice 1 to 2 minutes. If you find that you're sliding backwards or sliding forward because the floor is too slippery, then try to find like a yoga mat where you have a little bit more grip onto the ground, or you can try to get onto the towel because this time the towel will probably be holding on to you. Okay? So again, hold there for a little while, feel the stretch and feel the stretch across the chest as well as the front of your shoulders. Hold it there, and then you can start to wriggle or move from side to side to get a little bit more stretch. Okay, so we've done some push-ups that works on the chest, your triceps, the front of your shoulder. Will work a lot on the core. So we've done some down and up, we've done some presses that allow us to stretch the abs and the lower back. We've done quite a lot of squats and lunges as well. So the seated hamstring stretch and the high knee hip drops will do really well to allow you to stretch out as well. Okay, so try to follow this sequence as often as you can. The best route to progression is to kind of like repeat and challenge yourself to perform better and better in each routine. Try to work out at least once a day, especially now that you're home. You're saving the time of traveling. All you need to do is get a mat ready or simply just get going with your movement. Stay tuned to our channel and check out what we have in store for you. There are a lot of amazing trainers And there will be cook shows, and there will be a lot of other amazing information coming your way. So stay tuned and stay home, stay safe.